Hey guys, Lizardlea here for day 36 of 4 Heavenly Beasts. Here is the progress from day 35. If it'll focus. Okay, well, you get the idea. Most everything of what's left is super duper dark colors. So that's going to be a fun day for me. I planned this out very well with my dental surgery. Yeah. I don't really have anything to talk about. I just would like to point out, I have never, like, while cross-stitching, bopped myself in the face before. But I'm fully prepared for that to happen, specifically because I had dental surgery here. So, if there's ever a moment where, like, it looks like something's been tugged on the fabric, assume I've hit myself in the face and I am crying for the next 10 minutes and just skip ahead. I don't think it'll actually happen, especially because I'm just paranoid about it. Like, it still kind of hurts. So, also look at my nails. They're flowers. They're really pretty. It doesn't want to focus. No? Still no? Wow. Okay, well, you'll see while I cross-stitch, so I guess there wasn't any point in me pointing them out anyways. Whatever, I'm gonna go cross-stitch now.
Okay, we're back to 4 Heavenly Beasts. DJ isn't feeling well, so he's not joining us today. I apologize, but it's a long video, and it's 4 Heavenly Beasts. Yeah, sorry, this was, the next several videos were all filmed prior to Christmas, but I figured it'd be better to have, the Christmas ones at least as close to Christmas as I could get them. But now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, and it's great. We are going, hopefully at least, to Hawaii in 2 days. I don't know where I was going with that. I've already been. I'm super excited. DJ has not been, so I'm extra excited for him, because if you guys have ever been to Hawaii, you already know. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And all the people are super kind. And it's just, I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm just gonna do the random questions now, because all the shows or movies that I could talk about, DJ's supposed to be here for now. That is the decision that has been made for this channel. So we did the uninvent, which was weird. 9. What is the most bizarre wrong number text or phone call you ever received? I know I've gotten several text messages over the years of people either thinking I am their boss or thinking I am their employee. And I'll respond to them, hey, sorry, dude, you got the wrong number. They'll be like, hey, Sarah, I saw you were scheduled today and you're not here. Is everything all right? And I'll respond, sorry, I'm not Sarah. You have the wrong phone number. I don't recall a single time anyone has ever responded to that, even just to say, oops, sorry, which is totally fine. I do hope, the employee didn't get in trouble. I hope it was just, the person put it into their phone wrong and they were just like one number off or something. But, I feel like that's pretty normal. That happens. That's not bizarre. I can't think of any bizarre ones I've ever gotten. Yeah, I got nothing. 10. What is a behavior that you find strangely endearing or attractive? I do like when guys roll their shoulders. I'm into shoulders, so I don't know if that's necessarily strange in that case, but I do really like when DJ nerds out. Whether it's something I know and understand or not, it's still fun. Because I know what it's like when I nerd out. I'm having fun, whether the person's really listening or not. I have fun talking about it. So, yeah, I like listening to him nerd out. 11. If you could read the mind of one celebrity, who would it be? I don't know. Bezos? I don't know. How would that help me, though? I have no idea, you guys. I got nothing. Sorry. I'm not very interesting. But, like, yeah, ideally, I would want to read the mind of a celebrity who could, like, I could learn something so that I could become a bajillionaire myself. Or, like, if they know the lotto numbers or something. But there's no guarantee. Like, Bezos could literally just be thinking about what pair of shoes he's gonna wear. How would that help me? It wouldn't. So, yeah. And then I don't care about gossip, so I'm not interested in who slept with who or who, blackmailed who or whatever. That's, no thank you. Did I just do 11? Yes. 12. What is the most unbelievable yet true excuse you have ever had for being late? I'm not late very often, you guys. The last time I remember being late to something was the orthodontist. So I was going in to have, like, my braces tightened or something like that, or just checked out in general. And I had to drive down Flamingo, which, if you live in Las Vegas, that's part of the Strip. So it gets very busy. And let's see, I passed, the Bellagio was on my right. So I got off the highway. The Bellagio was on my right. The Flamingo was on my left. I went under that big bridge. And then shortly after that, on the right, there were a bunch of guys in hazmat suits. And, there was like a whole lane of Flamingo closed off because hazardous materials. Never found out what happened. Never found out what was going on. Nothing. But the traffic was really bad. And so I got there and, I almost had a panic attack because, like, I don't handle being late very well. I'm always just worried, like, I'm going to miss something, especially an appointment. Like, oh, they're not going to see me now. I'm going to get charged. And especially back then, I didn't have a ton of money. So, that was not something that was great for me. And I would like to have it known, I always showed up to my dentist appointments early. Like, I would leave so that if there was really bad traffic, I'd still get there on time. But that was just ridiculous traffic. An entire lane was shut down. And there were people in hazmat suits. So, of course, everybody's standing around and staring, and it's just ridiculous. And But I told everybody there about it, and they were just like, oh my gosh, really? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm really sorry I'm late. And they're like, no, honey, it's okay. You're usually here early. Don't worry about it. It happens. We know that traffic is a thing. And I was just like, it took me a while to calm down because I was so worried because that I was late. And they would just be like, you know what? We don't want you as a customer anymore. Go away. I know, obviously, that was not going to happen, but, when you're having essentially a mild panic attack, it's hard to think realistically, and it's not my fault. 13. What is your favorite word to say out loud? Whippersnapper. That is literally my favorite word in the world. Get off my lawn, you whippersnapper. 14. If you could eliminate one word from the English language, what would it be? I have no idea. I mean, I know there are a ton of ridiculous words in the English language, but I don't know what one I'm supposed to eliminate. Am I supposed to be all like boomer and say one of the current popular words? I don't even know what they are, you guys. I'm too old. I don't know. I'm not hip anymore.
You've always been old.
No, I haven't. I mean, I've always been mature for my age. I've always been told that.
Were you ever hip?
What?
Were you hip?
No, I was never hip.
So you were never
Have you
square.
met me? I was exactly a square.
But you said, no, it's hip to be a square.
No, it's not.
There's a song.
Okay, are you joining us now? Is this what's happening?
That it seems like.
Or do you want to just answer questions, or do you want to talk about something?
What have we watched? We saw Venom 2.
We watched Venom 2.
You want to talk about that train wreck?
Okay, but we need to move the microphone, so hold on one second. Okay, we're back. I moved the microphone.
Microphone.
It's slightly closer to you now.
I see.
Well, I'm just saying, everybody commented that they could hear you, so I'm not getting you another microphone, and I'm not moving it closer to you. They don't get to have it both ways. That's not how it works.
She's a vindictive god.
I'm just saying, like, I was on their side, and then they betrayed me, so, nope, you get one microphone now.
God.
It's not my fault, it's their fault. I stand by it. Ow, that was my elbow. That hurt. This is what I get for being a vindictive god.
There's more vindictive gods than her. And they're better at it.
They are.
For example, they probably produced Venom 2. So yeah,
They fixed his hair.
yeah, they fixed Woody Harrelson's hair. That is about the highlight of the movie.
Well, no, okay, the first, half or the first third of it was great. I was laughing, rolling around, basically,
Yeah.
for all of that. And I don't know, are you gonna do your spiel?
Yeah, okay, so Venom 2 takes place after Venom 1. Shock. No,
What?
which set up for the bringing in of Carnage, with Woody Harrelson playing him in a really bad wig. So they got rid of the wig and pretended that never happened.
Which I'm okay with, because that
I
was
think
a
the
terrible
entire
wig.
world is okay with it. I'm pretty willing to, believe that the world just rejected that wig.
As they should have. It was terrible.
Eddie is having couples issues with his couple, Venom, his partner, Venom, and they are not getting along. And lo and behold, at the same time, Eddie somehow knows this. Basically, he did a story on this serial killer who got put away. And lo and behold, shenanigans occur. The serial killer gets out of the death penalty and also gets access to his own symbiote, and he becomes Carnage. Ta-da! I would give you more plot than that, but frankly, I'm already doing enough damage to society by explaining that much. It really does not have a plot that's worth going into any more detail.
I loved the first movie, and I will absolutely rewatch that. I don't think I'm ever going to rewatch the sequel. Okay, so, I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything, because this woman was a great actress. I don't remember the character's name. The one with the voice, the sound.
Shriek.
Shriek, her, yeah.
That's the
If they had
character.
completely removed her and all of the stupid side plots with her, I would have liked it a lot more. Because trying to make Carnage, God, what's his name? Woody Harrelson's character.
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Trying to make Cassidy's character, have a tragic backstory, and he's got a girlfriend and they were separated. Just, no. You completely lost me. I loved when Eddie Brock was reading the postcard, and then they showed Cassidy's backstory through the drawings of he killed his grandma, and then he killed his mom, and his dad beat him to within an inch of his life, and then eventually he went to whatever. That I loved.
Mm-hmm.
But then they brought in her, and it was really? We're trying to give the serial killer a sad backstory? I'm never going to feel bad for him.
I briefly looked some of this up. I didn't go into detail because I didn't care enough. I never read the Carnage stuff. I played some games and whatnot, so the maximum Carnage run is what they're in theory evoking, which is apparently one of the best runs for him. Where, yes, there is a character named Shriek, who is just evil. They don't pretend she's also a good person or anything like they do for the first half of this weird story.
Well, they did it in the second half, too, which was another thing that annoyed me.
On and off. She's mostly just a serial killer by that point.
She flip-flopped a lot. Where, when Carnage grabbed Venom, and who else? Was it just Venom? I don't know, but Shriek comes over and she's like, no, you need to stop. You can't do this anymore. Like, are you kidding me? You're strangling a cop to death.
I have
You
no
don't-
memory of this.
Oh, I pointed it out because it annoyed the heck out of me.
Yeah, at that
Like,
point
she just kept going back and forth between either being evil or, oh no, you're being too evil. We can't handle that. That's not okay. I hated it. I don't know, whether she was from the comics or not, I thought they did a terrible job handling that.
She's not faithful to the comics. She's just a villain in the
Well,
comics.
that's the thing.
So
She could be faithful to the comics. She could be, and I would still hate it.
yeah.
I don't dislike it because I didn't know about her from the comics.
Yeah, no,
I
no.
disliked it because it was handled poorly. And then, like, every single time they needed to get out of a situation, it was, both of us were like, oh, hey, she's gonna wake up and shriek now. And then that's what happened. Oh my god! Like, there's plot convenience, and then there's just,
It's
how many Deus Ex Machinas can you have in one movie? Too freaking many!
This literally feels like an action movie that, you know, again, there were probably real scriptwriters at some point involved in this who tried to make something good. But first of all, the movie really should have been R.
Absolutely.
And I think that if you watch the movie and you're like into this sort of stuff, you can see where they've probably got scenes that they shot like an R-rated version for, and then they just cut before the R-rated stuff would happen. So maybe they're planning on like re-release it, or I would not be surprised
Like
if
a
the original
director's
plan
cut or something?
was like, oh, we'll do an R-rated director's cut months after, and then it just bombed so bad they're like, screw it, it's not even worth it. Because, for the record, that wouldn't save this. Like, that's not what's wrong with this movie. Like,
No.
granted, it's a problem, but it is actually by far the least of this movie's problems. It sucks that Carnage is like this weird PG Carnage that, like, you can tell again.
I mean, he did kill people.
Yeah, but again, he's like supposed to be using spikes and axes, and there's a whole bunch of scenes where he's gearing up to behead somebody violently.
Yeah, and then
they cut away, and you're just like, and they don't even imply the beheading happened. They just cut to the next scene. Like, they literally just don't even imply it. They're like, nope, that's only in the R-rated cut. Next.
Mm-hmm.
But that's such a small portion of what's wrong with this. Woody Harrelson's not a good cast for it. He's just
I never found
like
him
the
to be
right.
menacing.
Well, he's not the right kind of crazy. Like they don't know if he's sympathetic. First of all, like they can't seem to decide if he's supposed to be sympathetic, which he's not. For the record, there's like a little bit of sympathetic backstory in there.
and that was because his dad beat him.
Well, yeah,
But
well,
then
his
he
whole
turned
family
around.
beat him.
Okay, so he said that later. The
It's-
first time they did the backstory, it was like, oh, I killed my grandma, I killed my mom, and then my dad nearly beat me to death, and then I
Yeah,
went
but
to prison.
he killed his grandma and mom because they were beating him.
Yeah,
too.
and then he said later that they also beat him.
And I believe that's
So-
correct in the comics as well. Again, I don't. But
Maybe.
like the thing is like it's fairly
I just,
standard.
like, he became a serial killer. Like...
Yeah, it's fairly standard serial killer thing. Like
Yeah.
they have troubled upbringings and then they murder tons and tons of people.
because they have all this mental damage and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, and like he isn't supposed to be that sympathetic, and it's not what anyone was looking for coming to this. It was like, well, I really hope they make me feel for like
No,
that's
I
not
already
what you.
feel for Venom.
Yeah.
Don't make me feel for his bad guy now.
Yeah, especially given that was the point of this character was to be
Yeah,
an
the foil to Venom.
not just a foil, but like in a comic book industry where every other character winds up with a detailed backstory that makes them somehow, well, you know, my life was hard, I grew up, like, he was an unrepentant villain, capital V. So him PG-13ing his way, PGing his way through the prison escape and a bunch of other things is just, it feels wrong. And then, like I said, Woody Harrelson, since they can't decide if he's supposed to be sympathetic or not, doesn't feel right. Like, he doesn't really nail the creepy, he's not the right actor for it, he feels too old.
Woody Harrelson's too sweet to me. Like, I did not
He
find
can
him...
be scary.
He can be, but he wasn't in this. He just...
No Country for
wasn't
Old Men,
getting it.
he was a menacing, disturbing kind of character.
Is he one of the cowboys?
Not the main guy, no. He's one of the people who's looking for the suitcase.
Yeah. Does he get killed?
Yes.
Okay. I think he always had on a cowboy hat, didn't he?
No.
No?
No.
It's been too long since I watched
Didn't
the
he?
movie.
I don't know. Anyways,
I don't know. Not once did I ever genuinely believe that he was supposed to be Carnage.
yeah, no, it's
Like,
really not.
mhm.
Oh yeah, he did always have a cowboy hat on.
Oh, okay. I'm not crazy.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy who looks like Woody Harrelson. So,
Yes. You dork.
and he feels intimidating there, and that's a good role for him. I love him in True Detective. It's one of my favorite shows.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it's Woody Harrelson's fault that he didn't do well in this. I think it's
No,
the director or the writer, or like some
I
combination of
don't
that. Because
know
they
that
didn't...
he could have done this role. Like,
think with
he's
it-
already too old.
See, I don't
the
care
kind
about
of crazy that. Okay, to me. Okay, so to be clear, you probably could have had him do a pretty decent job, but he wasn't a good cast to begin with, in my opinion. I've never seen him do a role that fits the character I'm thinking of. Now, it might have been one of those things where, yeah, I'm a fan of the comic or of the story, and he's not the right character, but that's still a good movie thing, which this wasn't.
Okay, the first like third was.
Yeah, exactly. And so.
Oh, Sonny and Cher, they're best friends. We can't eat them. Venom. It was Venom and Eddie. I love them.
Yeah.
Their bromance is the best thing.
And that's what they've got. Like, they understand that they know... They've got this weird bromance Venom and Eddie thing, which I don't think is how the comics did it, but again, I never really did the comics.
I love it.
Yeah, no, they hit on something there. And it was good. And it's really good. In fact, one of the funniest scenes of both movies is in this movie. The whole breakfast scene is just, I thought, hilarious. It's really well done.
Tomato,
Yeah.
potato.
And he's just destroying the place.
Oh, he's trying so hard, though.
Yeah, it's a really well done scene.
So
And that's what I mean, where like there's some writers and people involved who clearly care about this, but at the end of the day it really just feels like standard producer meddling. Like, this is action script 5. Villain who was wronged by the world with girlfriend, lost love, who was also wronged by the world, reunite and are stopped by the hero because they must be, but they were never really... I swear I've seen this 50 other times. Just now cycle into homicidal serial killers for those, and boy, isn't that great dissonance. And then they're trying to set up that cop. I forgot to check who the heck he's supposed to be, but...
the guy that he has hearing aids now and all that.
Well, he died.
And then his eyes were glowing. I don't know.
Oh, he's supposed to be Toxin, which I think is another symbiote.
I don't remember. Toxin.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. I'm aware of him from like a game or something. But yeah, they get another symbiote, which that's the other problem here, that like Venom is interesting because of what he will do. And reusing, like, you had to do Carnage. I will give them that.
Oh, yeah, he's...
But just reusing symbiotes, like, well, maybe they're stuck because they can't use other Marvel villains. That might be the problem.
Oh, maybe.
I was just saying, like, having Venom fight, like, Doc Ock or Rhino or Mephisto, well, like, whoever they haven't already used in the Spider-Man thing would be interesting, or whoever the hell they have the rights to. But yeah, if they're stuck with only symbiotes, that's already kind of a problem because...
Yeah, they're gonna run out of, like, the memorable ones. I mean, personally, for me, they already have. Venom and Carnage are the ones that are memorable for me.
Like, Riot is a big one, and nobody knows who he is.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
He was the villain of the first movie.
Yeah, but no, I feel like I remember that name from the comics, but I just...
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, he was not on the level with Venom and Carnage for me.
It's really... I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is, like, other than the obvious, like, just phoned in plot. Like, again, it's got moments of, like, oh, I think someone's trying here, and then they're like, oh, don't get kidnapped. Oh, you got kidnapped. Like, that scene where it was literally, like, you literally just back-to-back went, don't get kidnapped. Like, why did you...
I'm still really annoyed that Shriek immediately found Annie's house after finding a picture at Eddie's place. Like, no, that makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
Oh, and then Carnage being able to, like, stick his crap into the computer and break into the FBI database or whatever. What the heck was that? They could have found a better way to do that. I hated the whole side plot with Shriek. Every single thing that she was in, I hated. Like, the only thing I liked was when she died. Or, you know, when the bell fell on her or whatever. That was good. Because I was like, yay, she's out of the fight from now on.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much.
I love the Eddie and Annie relationship. Like, he's trying to win her back. He is failing. It's great. I love it. I don't need another failed romance. Or, you know, attempt at romance. I did not care about Shriek with Carnage at all.
Yeah, no, it was just awful.
No, I hated it.
The one redeeming-ish moment of that entire setup is, like, if you don't know anything about Carnage, I guess, like, he's gonna go save the girl, and something's gonna go wrong, or whatever, you don't exactly know. And then the girl is also just irredeemably evil, and you're like, oh, okay, the twist is they're both evil. Oh, okay, I guess. And they don't even, like, give much of a reason why. We have no knowledge of why she's that way. Like, just she enjoys hurting people, or revenge on society. They, again, try to make her kind of empathetic, but then unclear if it's a cause or effect scenario. Like it's just so phoned in.
I don't know. The only thing I remember liking, but other than her having the bell fall on her, was when she shrieked in the car, and Carnage was like, "If she does that again, I'm gonna hit her." And then she did it again, and then Carnage hit her. I was like, "Yes, thank you."
Yeah, it's
like he follows through with his threats.
I mean.
That's it. Like
I like this whole thing is kind of doomed from the start because like okay, the Venom comedy thing is great.
It's gold.
But yeah, I'm googling to refresh my memory. Yeah, not at all how Venom's supposed to be. So
I'm okay with it.
Comic book fans are of course going to hate that. So,
see, and I'm a comic book fan, and I still love
yeah,
it.
but you weren't a Venom fan. Like if you were
I
a
was
Venom,
a Venom fan, yeah.
Of his early comic runs.
I only have vague memories of that, but no, like I remember growing up, I loved Spider-Man,
Okay.
and I remember liking Venom.
Yeah.
Like whether because I liked him because he was a bad guy or not doesn't matter. I liked Venom, but I don't know. Like the point of this is that they're trying to make Venom not the immediate bad guy, and I think they're doing a great job with that, and I'm having so much fun with their dynamic. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? This is already 1 billion times better than the Venom in the original Spider-Man trilogy.
Well, yeah, but
that was disgusting, and I hated it.
Everyone hated it. But yeah, this is just so. It's so stupid. It goes back to those older action movies or like adaptations, like again early 90s, where like you couldn't get a real comic book movie because they had to be like, well, audiences will never watch this. We need to change this and make it more relatable. And then you were like, well, at least they got their powers right. 8 out of 10, or they spelled their name properly on the sign at the end. 7 out of 10. And this has that kind of energy where it's just like, it's not just bad if you're a fan of the content. It's bad if you're a fan of good movies. It's a mediocre action movie with some decent comedy, and the comedy's not going to be for everyone. Oh, also the boyfriend, Dan. So Annie and Dan, yeah. Annie is weird in this, but whatever, fine, it works. Dan is like a totally different character from the first movie. Like, he doesn't remember any of it.
Okay, is he a different actor?
I didn't check.
Because he looked... I don't know. He looked different. Or at the very least, he looked like...
He acted so different. Like...
I don't know. Yeah, like he... Okay, so he saw the symbiote... He saw Venom outside of Eddie Brock.
Yeah, he was involved. And he was very caring for... He was his doctor. He was like, hey, we're going to help you. We're going to get you... And then this one, he's like, just... They don't... Like, I would believe that whoever finished... Like, my bet is a script got written, and it was a good script, and it was a rated R script,
like, no.
And they ripped out half of it, and then put in, the regurgitators who, I've heard that there's actually people who use, like, fake names because they, you gotta get paid, and you write these things, and you're like, yeah, I don't want my real name on this.
Yeah.
But either way, they went in, they cleaned it up, and they didn't watch the first movie. They don't care about this Dan guy. They're like, well, he needs to be the bad guy boyfriend, and it's just, it's so freaking bad.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. Reed Scott as Dan Lewis. So I'm going to see if I can find out who he was in the first movie. He was the same actor.
Really?
Yeah. And that's like that.
I mean, he acted completely different because he was very caring and concerning in the first one, and in this one he was just constantly freaking out about everything.
Yeah, it's
like everything.
And yeah, and completely out of character, and then fire or sound. I'll tell you.
So I just had to snip out a little bit because DJ said a word he's not supposed to say. And we didn't really add anything else to the conversation though,
Hardcore.
So it was just like more disappointment,
Yeah. So either way, I just reading through some random junk like. yeah, no one's super thrilled with this. Apparently, the animation that was actually pretty good is based on an actual comic scene.
It was
from
amazing.
the old comics. So
I loved that scene.
That was a really good part, and of course, yeah, that's ripped directly from a comic. And then one of my favorite parts is, what loud place will the climax of Venom 3 take place in?
Oh, another bell tower.
Yeah,
What?
I hope it's Tornado Warning Siren Factory. Like... And then, yeah, like, the only justifiable reason to put Shriek in that movie is so that Venom can knock her into the bell at the end for her to make
and that wasn't good enough for me. Like, the only reason I liked that scene was because I hated her so much.
Yeah.
But no, okay, so there was a clock tower in Spider-Man 3, the original one. There was a clock tower in the Hawkeye show. I feel like there are too many clock towers. And I have not seen that many clock towers in my life, and I've traveled a lot. There's just too many clock towers in these movies.
Yeah, they don't know what to do here. Like,
yeah, like, use something
I guess that's
else.
kind of a problem with Venom in general, that it's almost like old Green Lantern, where like, what's his weakness? The color yellow! Well, that's a problem. In that with Venom, you have...
Sound and fire.
Yeah, well, I don't even think fire's canon, but whatever.
Oh, really? I thought it was.
I could be.
Maybe
I could
not.
misremember. But, like, for a super monster thing, it's supposed to be, like, certain frequencies of sound. But, boy, when the plot calls for it, can darn near anything make the noise required. Now, I know there's a famous scene where the bell tower goes off, and that's how Peter gets away from the symbiote, because it's affecting him at the time, and he's, like, in the bell tower, causing it to ring so it gets away from him.
Yeah, that's what they did in Spider-Man.
But to my memory, the way they retcon that is like, yes, it can adapt to that frequency, so no more bell tower jaunts, or it hurts him, but it doesn't do as much. And yeah, they've always had a problem with that with Venom, because he's such a great idea until, the whole point of Venom is, it's actually a lot like Superman. Nothing can stop him, until the one thing that can stop him. And then now we're back to where we started with, well, then that's how every story with this character ends.
Yeah.
It's like, gee, do we have, just carry a...
thing of kryptonite on us at all
like
times?
an air horn or a freaking... Like, I mean, that would actually be... Given that they've taken this in a different comedic-ish direction, it would be somewhat funny if, he just had an air horn to, like, spritz Venom whenever he did bad things in the apartment. But, like... You gotta just admit you're getting away from what Venom used to be, but given that they can't bring in the rest of the Marvel Universe, they can't really set foot in any of that stuff.
Well, that's the thing, you can't make Venom the bad guy here, because he is the hero right now. It'd be weird to suddenly bring in Peter Parker and make him the bad guy that he was meant to be.
Yeah.
I like Venom, so I'm okay seeing him as the hero. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of good arguments.
This actor is doing so good. What?
I'm seeing a lot of good arguments that this is a rom-com.
Yeah,
it's just the worst
they were a bromance.
Yeah, it's the worst rom-com you've ever gone to.
I disagree, but...
Wait, does sound and fire affect the symbiote? I might need to be told a few more times to get it.
Aww.
Yeah, like, it's just... The whole thing is...
The first movie was so good, especially in comparison to this piece of
The
trash.
first movie was good in spite of itself. Like, you can feel the creative people struggling. Well, no, I feel like the signs of what happened to this movie are in the first movie. Like, the same sort of, like, producer meddling, like, no, movies need to do this.
Oh, yeah, the villain has to be 110% a villain.
Yeah, that sort of junk. Well, like, if they'd done that in this movie, it would have been better!
Yeah, they got their villains messed up. I actually completely agree, yeah.
The one thing you listen to! Oh.
That's funny. I didn't think about that until now.
Right, we got the note. More nuanced villain. No!
Not with Carnage!
You can never win, folks.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, but I loved it. He was like, he's a red one.
We should go.
We should go. It's time to die.
And we'll forget.
No, we're going to die.
There are a couple of silly lines. Like, it's not, like, high-class humor, but it's fun.
Oh, it's funny.
Like, if you just accept that this is a dumpster fire going in and, have fun with it, it's fun, but...
I mean, I say, watch the first third of it, and then walk away happy.
Yeah.
Or, if you're okay with crappy villains, go for it and continue.
I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I'm a little sad. Okay. Spoilers for Spider-Man?
No Way From Home?
Yeah.
Or no, the most recent one, the third one.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Holmes, Part 3.
Yeah.
So, first of all, kind of major spoilers, but at the very end, in the post-credits scene, of both this movie and that movie, it ties the two together. Eddie Brock winds up in Spider-Man's world, and it is funny to see.
Great.
And it's really sad to see, because while it does tie Venom into the MCU, because apparently Sony did give the green light for Venom to wind up in Disney Marvel, it's not going to be Tom Hardy in this Venom. Now, on the one hand, that could be good, because they could do a more faithful Venom, and we could get, Spider-Man Venom again, and do that right finally, and no jazz, please.
Oh my god, don't even mention that scene. I'm going to kill myself.
But...
Not my Spider-Man.
It's a shame, because I actually think this Tom Hardy and Venom would work really well there. There's actually some potential in that.
Tom Hardy's a good actor.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's great, and then, with Tom Holland and the younger Spider-Man, who's not
a little
really,
jaded now.
A little more jaded and still very unfamiliar with what's going on. You could have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's pretty clear they're just
different Venom, yeah, because I don't know, he had
he goes
a
back
little
to
bit
his
of venom on the counter.
Yeah.
Was it spit? Was it
it was just
a
part
piece
of him
left off from
yeah.
him when they disappeared? I don't know, but
yeah.
I
Will Kill You, Father was good.
Oh, yeah.
No!
Oh, no, not you, Father. Him. It was funny, because at the same time, it was kind of no, I think Carnage would want to kill him, too. Carnage wants to kill everybody.
Yeah.
Carnage is all about Carnage. They used that line twice, and the only time I liked it was when Carnage himself said it.
Yep.
When Cassidy said it, I was like, really? Let there be Carnage? That's the line you guys are going with?
We said this for the
Cassidy.
trailer.
But when Carnage actually said it, and, he freaking exploded afterwards, I was like, yes, that is the correct time to use that line. When you are Carnage.
Yeah, it's such a waste, because there's no, Disney has the problem now with all their Marvel money and all their Marvel power. The cool thing about Marvel that Disney has decided to tap into is, hey, there's a million half-decent plots out there that have been written better than we'll ever do. So let's just take those, clean them up, and put them on the big screen, and then, learn from them and, do similar stuff. The Spider-Man 2 movie, and I think 3 were pretty completely original plots. I can't remember, and they worked great. They did well. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of...
They need to pay attention to what they can and can't do, because they've tried to do Dark Phoenix twice now, and they've bombed both of them.
Well, that wasn't Disney. That was Sony Fox. Or that was Fox.
Ah,
yes, that's
okay.
So here's the thing:
okay.
they finally got they've got Fantastic Four. They've got the two key components of Spider-Man, or two of the key components. And they've got the rest of Marvel, and they've got X-Men now. So here's the thing: the one problem they have, the cool thing they figured out is, hey, not only do we have all these plots, but these plots are every genre imaginable.
Oh, yeah.
You want a rom-com? We've got a rom-com. You want a horror story? We've got a horror story. You want an action movie? We've got 50 action movies. Hawkeye is a little bit Christmas Carol and a little bit superhero movie. It's still a superhero show, but it's also Christmas, the Christmas one.
Oh, yeah.
So, the thing I'm wondering is, are they actually going to dip into, Deadpool did really well.
And it was rated R.
And we've got all these R-rated plots. Can we spin off Marvel so it doesn't have the big D logo next to it, and then get away with something a little more violent? Because we just talked about how the Moon Knight trailer dropped, and that looks like it's supposed to be really violent, but we'll see. By Disney standards, that means both noses will be bleeding instead of just one nostril.
I still want to see it either way.
No, I definitely do too.
Looks awesome, and I don't know anything about the Moon Knight.
That might
never
be better,
heard of him
honestly.
before. Probably.
Yeah. So either way.
But between the two of us, I'm the one who much prefers the gore and the blood and the guts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it when it makes sense, but yeah, it's not a selling point for me. I don't care.
See, it totally is for me.
Yeah.
I I mean, I'll watch it either way.
But yeah, Marvel's
But, like, yeah.
Marvel's got Carnage. Marvel's got all these characters. Moon Knight. Marvel's got. I'm sure I could name more. Hell,
I mean,
Punisher. Yeah.
Like,
all these characters, even Daredevil, who have really violent stuff going on. And when Netflix was toying with that, they did really well with it by making it darker and more violent. Like, you have to watch Daredevil because there's some scenes that I can't mention because you haven't seen it or don't remember it, but like, they are really good because they are the right level of violence for the environment that he's in, and it really sells the sort of smaller setting and makes the world feel threatening. And you've got Carnage, who's this just great villain under your umbrella. Well, maybe it's probably under Sony still, but they could get him.
Yeah.
And it would do wonders. But yeah, it's hard to weave in with the Spider-Man that you've done. Do you have the guts to do that? Are you just afraid that, like, I can see how from a business perspective it'll just never happen.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because, like, Tom
Venom's...
Holland's bringing in...
Well, okay, so Tom Holland is sweet and young, and Venom begins by taking over Peter Parker's body.
Yeah, but they're not going to go
trashing
near it.
stuff, and they're not going to do that.
Well, he almost kills people, is the thing.
Yeah,
they'll do that, but it'll be this. It will be just like the Saturday morning cartoon did. Like, he threatens to kill Rhino and then doesn't, and he punches somebody really hard and hurts them. Like, they're not going to do more violent things, and they're never going to be able to do Carnage. Like, I know the Saturday morning cartoon did Carnage, though. I don't remember how they did that or if they did it well. But again, like, it's a shame because, yeah, at the end of the day, they have to respect that, like, look, Spider-Man 3 just made $1 gazillion post-COVID because every family in America saw it. They're never going to make an R-rated Carnage movie with Tom Holland in it. Like, it's just not happening. So, it's a shame that all those characters and ideas are kind of shelved. I'd love to see a spin-off eventually of, like, a more... like a classic Marvel or a more... adult Marvel, for lack of a better term, that's just like, look, we know we've got all these characters, we know we can't do them justice in the big blockbuster stuff, but hey, Daredevil Netflix did well, all these other things do well, we'll spin this off as like the adult section of Disney Plus, and it'll be R-rated content because that's what the source content is, but we can do these stories better. I doubt it'll ever happen. Like, there's a Disney guy, laughing right now at the mere concept is, in a pile of money. But it's a shame because they've got all this cool stuff and it'll just never quite get done right.
Yeah, it is kind of sad, especially now that, like, being a nerd isn't necessarily as shunned as it once was.
I mean, no. Yeah, not at all.
Are you disagreeing with me? Or
no, I'm saying it's definitely not as shunned as it once was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing, because there are so many people that are fans of the comics.
Or the definition of nerd has changed.
If you follow the comics more, you're gonna get all of the comic viewers in. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that would love to introduce their friends to these comics. And that movie would be a great gateway for that. And, like, just, yeah.
Yeah.
But, Disney going Disney. And I love Disney. But,
yeah, there's no way.
like, honestly, look at Deadpool. Look how successful that was. It got a sequel. Look how successful that sequel was.
Yeah,
both were rated R.
There was potential there, but...
Like, I know... I'm pretty sure it was
Disney
that...
ever...
What?
I don't think anything under the Disney umbrella has ever even broached... I'm sure I'm wrong and someone's like, well, this thing, but... Well,
while you look that up, I think the only reason that the first Deadpool was even made was because... Ryan Reynolds is a huge fan of Deadpool, and he... like, agreed to take a pay cut to make sure it was R and whatnot.
Well, he did a whole bunch to make sure that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I am sort of wrong. They've never released an R-rated thing under the Disney name. So, like, yes, Deadpool is technically under that. Judge Dredd was actually under them.
The remake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I was going to say, the one with Sylvester Stallone, there's no way that was rated
There's
R.
a bunch of other things I could name that, don't matter, that are technically under the Disney, Infinite... Con Air is technically Disney in that, it's somehow under their umbrella through the mass merger of acquisition and amalgamation.
See, but if they didn't make it and it doesn't say Disney,
Right, the Disney logo is never going to be on
because they own it now.
Well, and that's the thing is that I think Deadpool was technically under them during them.
Was it really?
Let me
I
look.
feel like it was not, but I could be wrong.
I mean, it was under a subsidiary of them. They'll never put the Disney logo on it. Was it Fox? And they just acquired Fox, and that's all it was? Oh, it was Fox, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't own Fox at the time.
Yeah, no. I'm just wrong. Made by Disney. Yep. You see, everyone puts all these other things out under that. And it's like, well, yes.
Yeah.
But like, I'm looking for one that's like a subsidiary that qualifies. And they're like, oh, all these are published by subsidiaries. But it's like, were they published by subsidiaries when Disney owned them?
Yeah.
Or was that before? Because, like, yes, I know the entire Fox catalog has a bunch of junk. Deadpool's on here. Well, Deadpool 3 will be coming out.
Is it still going to be rated R? Because if not, they're freaking idiots.
I don't think there's any way it's not going to be. But yeah, it's under the Walt Disney Studios motion. Oh God.
Oh God, are they about to ruin Deadpool for me? I love Deadpool. Don't do that. No.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm gonna cry, you guys.
Kevin Feige confirmed the film will be rated R.
Feige?
Yeah, him.
Feige.
I've never heard it pronounced.
Yeah, you have.
I really haven't.
We've watched videos about people talking about Kevin Feige before.
I have literally never heard it said until now. I didn't know that was it at all.
I don't believe
I thought I was close.
I don't believe it.
It's like Denis Villeneuve or whatever, the guy who made Dune.
Oh, yeah, that, I don't know.
Like, I wasn't even close. And I was like, it's French, and I know I'm wrong, but I think I'm close. I'm like, oh God, I'm not even close, yeah. But no, yeah, apparently they confirmed it will be R and part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh!
So, I mean, that
Wait,
opens...
which X-Men do they still have? Do they have any, or do they
They
have
have
all?
all of them now.
Disney has all of them.
Disney has all of them. They have a complete set of X-Men.
X-Men is one of my favorites.
They could do so much. Yeah, and to be clear, they've got a gaping hole in their cast right now where, like, okay, the Avengers are getting older, the actual stars. We need to, like, cycle them out. We've got, like, phase 2 of, like, okay, Tom Holland will look 13 forever. That's fine. It's going to be a problem in 10 years when he's supposed to look 25, but whatever.
It's fine.
We'll get him still.
We'll alternate universe him every 10 years.
Yeah, and then, you know, all these other actors, like, you know, Hawkeye, whatever. Gosh, I can't even think of the main ones. But yeah, who knows what they're going to replace them all with. But yeah, they could bring in the X-Men and go all sorts of X-Men plots, and they've obviously got, like I said, Fantastic Four. Deadpool would be a clever way to start that. You know, just have have the X-Men, literally have him, like, drop a dead body into the X-Mansion on the desk with all the actors you cast to play the X-Men sitting there like, what are you doing?
Did you watch Deadpool 2?
No, I know that those are the old ones. I don't know if they'll use them.
Yes, but I mean, that's what happened. It was like,
they were hiding
into the
from
mansion, and then it was just like, oh, look, they're all there. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
No, I know. You could actually reveal the cast that way. That would be on brand. I'm totally wrong. There's no way they'll do it. But
if they did that.
It would be amazing just to see. Gosh, it'd probably still be Patrick Stewart.
But not gonna lie, Patrick Stewart, if he could just live forever.
Actually, I want
Professor
J.K.
X.
Simmons as Professor X.
No.
No, they can't. But
every universe, he needs to be J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, he does.
You're wrong.
Yes.
You need to walk away right now.
But yeah, no, there's no way it could be Patrick Stewart at this point. He's too old.
Oh my God, no, I love him as Professor X. He is wonderful.
He's wonderful. He's too old. He did Logan. We're done here. They need a new Professor X. I don't know how to do that.
I mean, I like James McAvoy as Professor X.
Who was he?
Days of Future Past. He was Professor X.
He was the young one, yeah.
Yeah, he had hair, and then he had to shave it.
Yeah, no, I want the older Professor X. I need a,
Well, I mean, he's getting older every year, honey.
He travels through time?
James McAvoy gets older every year. I don't know what you're saying.
Liz being careful on her answer there. James McAvoy gets older every year. I feel safe confirming this part of the conversation.
I don't know what you're saying. He travels through time like a normal human being, as far as I'm aware. He could be an alien. I don't know. I don't get to make that choice for him.
I've got nothing.
I don't know. Like, I'd really like them to do the X-Men and do them right. Like, I want my
You need like 4
Rogue
movies.
to be evil at first.
Well, they do have Miss Marvel too.
And I want her to take
Oh.
Miss Marvel's powers.
X-Men could be the next.
That's what I want.
So what they could do is whatever the current cycle is, this post-Thanos cycle, like they've got the freaking phases in the Marvel Cinematic Universe naming. But I think Phase 5 could be the X-Men, and this is like Phase 4, whatever's current. So you can run Miss Marvel and all these others, And then X-Men gets introduced in part with Rogue stealing Miss Marvel's powers.
Yes.
And you could meet up with, Sinister and Mystique would be the... Who's Mystique?
Mystique would already be there because she's raising Rogue at this
right,
point.
but who's she working for? Or is she just on her
I thought
own?
that was her on her own.
Okay, so Mystique could be...
Like, she had actual kids with, the demon guy.
Mephisto. No?
That was not his name. He's red, and he has horns and a tail. He looks like a devil.
Mephisto?
I swear that is not his name.
I mean, there's been a lot of rumors that they've been
crazy.
dropping hints to him in various episodes, and they're of low credibility, and everyone's jumping all over them.
Who's Nightcrawler's dad?
Mephisto?
Is it really? Is that his... Wait, does he go by another name?
Mephisto.
Am I insane?
Azazel.
Azazel, yes! You're wrong! I was right, screw you!
Yeah, but to be fair, they're both Paul Red demons.
Okay, Mephisto. I don't know who that is.
He's basically Satan.
Is he X-Men?
No?
Okay, see, I was going specifically X-Men.
He's...
Oh, I see him with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, I would say.
Yeah, no, honey, you're wrong. Screw you. I win.
I love you too. He's mostly Doctor Strange and, Fantastic Four level, because, again, he's up there with the ridiculous stuff, which, again, really want Doctor Doom? I know that once you bring in Doctor Doom, you have to bring in the Fantastic Four, and once you bring in the Fantastic Four, you start power ramping so hard things get ridiculous. But hurry up and get to Doom. Cast him well, please. Who do I want? I want... Oh my god, what's his name? He's too old. Oh, but he could be Professor X.
Who?
That's a bingo.
I don't know.
Oh god, freaking...
B-I-N-G?
Don't do that to me. The great actor from... Not Christopher Walken... From
like
Inglourious Bastards.
Wow, thanks. It's directly in front of you, honey. You have the internet at your fingertips.
I wanted to believe in me.
They can hear you typing. I don't know why you don't.
I wanted to believe in me. What's his name? I love this actor. I'll see.
It's not the guy
Christoph Waltz. That guy. This guy.
Oh, okay. You want him to be who?
I think he could be Professor X.
Okay.
He's a really good actor. I'm probably wrong, like there's no way that happens, but I just want him in everything, so...
Okay.
Just find him a role, or he could be Doom. One of the two. Either or. I'll take him as Doom or X.
I mean, Doom usually has his face covered, so he could do both.
That'd be a weird reveal.
Wait. Does he ever take off his helmet?
Yeah, I think there's a couple...
See, Fantastic Four was never up there for me. Like, it was always just like, meh. So... Dr. Doom was meh.
Yeah, I mean... You're wrong, but it's okay.
So it's okay.
You haven't seen the good stuff, that's why.
Mm.
I don't know. How much time do we...
A lot, honey.
Oh, we have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I was worried we'd already gone over, so...
No.
No.
See, when you look at the screen, how I'm still stitching? That's because there's more time.
I thought you looped it.
I've never done that before. Why would you think that?
I don't know. I thought you were stalling for time because we were still talking.
I mean, I can slow down the speed with which I made these videos in order to make it longer. Like, I think I made them 10 times the speed. I normally do 9 times. But then I was like, I don't want to talk on my own for an hour. And then you came over, and now we've been talking for almost an hour.
An hour, huh?
I said almost.
Almost an hour.
Almost.
I don't know. Is there other... Like, actually, who do you want? Is there anyone... So you really want the X-Men, right?
Oh my god, I love the X-Men.
Just because of Rogue?
No, Storm is my favorite. But I love the X-Men in general. Like, I love the X-Men.
I would like to see Gambit, because they've never done Gambit well in the brief. Like, I grew up in the 90s X-Men. Mom recorded the video. Mom and Dad would record the videos for me, and I'd watch them. And, like, Gambit was really fun. And
him and
was,
Rogue had a thing.
Yeah. was slightly less damaged than every other character now, right? Like, Storm was pretty normal. Wolverine was creepy. Like, now that you're an adult, you think about, like, he was really infatuated with Jean, and she never gave him much reason to be. Morph was fun, but he died immediately. Yeah, I don't know.
I liked Colossus.
Colossus from
Kitty
Deadpool
Pryde,
needs
they
to
were
become,
cool.
like, the actor from Deadpool needs to just get into the
they
MCU.
absolutely have to bring him back because
yeah.
he had the accent, he had the physique, he was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that's CGI or whatever.
I don't care, he was perfect.
Yeah, they nailed it. Just
keep him forever.
save those files, keep that guy, do
Though
that.
I will say, I do want a Wolverine that is my height. I don't want another perfect Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman's your height.
No, he's not. He's over a foot taller than me. I think he's taller than you.
He's short.
Wolverine is my height.
I thought Hugh Jackman was short.
Oh my god, no, honey. He's over 6 feet tall.
Oh, he's my height.
Yeah! Oh my god, honey.
Oh, and
Wolverine is supposed to be my height.
5'3".
Yeah!
I'm a foot taller than you.
Oh my god. He's killing me, you guys.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Just because, like, even though Wolverine's supposed to be short, even in the comics,
But that's the thing, okay? Hugh Jackman cannot be Wolverine forever. He just did Old Man Logan.
No, I know.
He's done.
He admitted he's done it.
They need to bring somebody else in who is different from the previous Wolverine. Bringing in an actual short man and showing that he has a short man's complex will do that.
I don't think they'll do it because even in the comics you don't ever think... Like, I know that in theory he's short, but, like, they so rarely actually show him as short due to how he's, like, shown in the... Like, every image of him, he's taking up a majority of the page. Like, most people don't think of him as short, even though, yes, he is. I just don't think any producer's ever going to go for that. Like, you're right, I think it would be a smart thing to do, but... Like, I'm literally struggling to find an image that just shows him in contrast.
Well, you need to do X-Men group.
Yeah, no, I
not
did
just
that.
Wolverine, because
now
now that Hugh Jackman has done the thing,
that's about as
Wolverine
good as you're gonna get.
is everyone's favorite. Wow, look at that! He's significantly shorter than everyone else.
It's also
look at how tall Storm is. I love Storm so much.
Yeah,
and I ship her with Black Panther so much.
Like, this is how you normally see it, where he's front and center
and
bent
they're running.
over.
You can't tell.
Yeah,
yes.
You can't tell. Like, they rarely actually show off how short he is, which is sort of the point. But you're not wrong. Like, I think it would be...
Oh, I know I'm not wrong. I was the one who said his height, and you were
I'd
wrong.
love to see Omega Red. That would be cool. He was one of my favorite villains. The guy with, like, the octopus arms that could suck powers from people, life from people. He was one of Wolverine's main villains. Omega Red? Something like that? Yeah.
Maybe.
He was Russian. He's like the Russian version of Wolverine, and like they're what he made, I think. Again, I'm probably butchering this. And he...
See, I didn't have
like,
the TV show. I haven't seen a single episode of the TV show.
He was also Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I haven't played that game.
Well,
but I know it's a video game. I had comics that I got to read every once in a while. And I feel like I saw comics that were in other languages, and I just had to figure it out by the panels and the action. I mean, he looks familiar, but...
I like him because he's
nothing.
a really unique design, like the... What is it called? Whatever crazy fake adamant... What's Wolverine's skeleton made of?
Isn't it adamantium?
Yeah. He's got adamantium tentacles, and so that's why he can fight Wolverine, and he's also got the blood throughout his body, and he can, like, suck the life out of people by touching them with his tentacles, and it's...
Rogue.
Similar, except he doesn't gain any power from it, he just...
And that's why Rogue's cooler.
Yeah.
Also, she can fly.
But no, he was a really interesting character, especially because he's obviously like one of the Cold War villain things. Like, he's Russian and tensions are a thing, but I think there's a lot of neat stuff you could do with him. And he's just not that used, which bothers me because I think he's a great character. I think they did some animated thing with him recently.
I mean, we don't hate the Russians anymore, so...
Yeah, things are getting back there, but...
Well...
Yeah. Ukraine's kind of been in the news.
Let's try to not hate the Russians.
Yeah.
How's that?
Sure. Anyways.
More Colossus.
Right. Moving on.
He's Russian, isn't he? Yeah, he's a Russian farmer.
Isn't he? Yeah.
He grew up on a farm. I swear he was Russian. Maybe not.
I mean, I know he's Eastern European. I'm not sure if he's Russian or if he's supposed to be near Russia. One of the things that was like under the Soviet Union, but isn't.
Are you Googling it?
I'm trying to. He is from Peter Rasputin.
Mother Russia.
I believe so. Where do we have?
I mean, I would just do Control F and then Russia, and then see if it pops up at all.
In Siberia, so yeah, he's Russian.
Aha, I win.
Yeah, Lake Lake Baikal? I don't know, I can't pronounce that, I'll try. So yeah, he's,
Who's he now?
never mind, yeah, I got nothing to go with that. I could have gone off on another tangent, but we've been far enough down. It would be cool to see the X-Men brought in, is the short answer to this, because there's so much material. Mr. Sinister is weird but fun, although his obsession with Cyclops gets a little weird. Actually, what plots do you do? Because the weird thing about the X-Men is you could probably do movies based on just different portions of the team.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you make it a show that gets movies?
It's not something.
So it's not something that Marvel has had the guts to do, but they've kept their movies separate from their shows. But they're building such an empire. They're one of the few people that could maybe do that. Where you've got the X-Men show, which is the students, the newer ones, the younger kids in the school dealing with smaller problems, and then it segues into the movies, which are the A-Team dealing with the big stuff. So Cyclops, Wolverine, etc.
That could be really fun, actually.
You could do it.
The only thing I worry about is, are they going to try and do Dark Phoenix again?
Okay, you can do Dark Phoenix, but you gotta... Okay, if any writing team can do Dark Phoenix, it's this Marvel team. There's been a lot of plots they've done where I'm like, oh, so this is the end. It all goes downhill from here. This is the one that's gonna bomb, and then nothing else will ever do well, because they'll freak out because that one bombed, and where it's all over. But they just did Eternals, and that didn't work, and they're not freaking out, so we're past that point. That said, I don't think they've ever had one of their major ones super fail. I guess Thor and Thor 2 were very disappointing compared to the rest, but then Thor 3 did wonderful, so
oh, heck yeah.
They're willing to iterate
the
on
original
things.
Hulk got recast.
Well, it wasn't under them.
Oh, it wasn't?
No,
that first
under,
one
no.
with
Edward Norton.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't under them.
Oh, okay.
And everyone's always been sad about that. They never got a Hulk movie, but whatever. I agree, kind of not.
I'm tired of seeing Hulk. I get it.
Hulk
oh, no, he's angry.
Is actually like Superman in that it's hard to make him the focus because he's so unstoppable.
Yeah.
That, if he's not the villain, Hulk smashes the U.S. Army, round 7, we've seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Dark Phoenix is so weird, and you have so much junk around it. Because, it's interesting in the comics and the show, because it's the celestial level problem. This is a galactic issue.
Oh, yeah, and they go out into space.
And we've dealt with that a little here. We had Thanos, we had Miss Marvel, and we've introduced the Skrull, which are also a thing they might do. But we haven't really done much since then on the galactic scale, and we still kept it, Earth-centric, so... I don't know, they've laid the groundwork, they could do it. It would be nice if they didn't try.
Yeah, I'm kind of do we need another origin story that you're gonna screw up? Or even just, I don't know, because, in the comics, Phoenix, or at least, Jean Grey, she's piloting the spaceship to try and get back to Earth. And she's just praying and hoping that they can make it back. And she's using all of her power and all of her strength. And that's when Phoenix notices her and, takes over her. And, I mean, if they're going to be faithful to the comic, she just melts in place. Goes to her skeleton and just, it kills her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have the balls to do that. But... it's emotional because, all she cares about is saving her friends. And then this, horrific Cthulhu-level entity enters her. I mean, I'd put Phoenix up there with Cthulhu. She's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, she's...
Phoenix is insane.
Yeah.
You just pulled up her page. It was all 7s.
Yeah.
Out of 7.
Yeah. Actually, so related to that, I mean, thinking about it, again, the X-Men have the problem with the... They have a really wide range of what their plots deal with. The core X-Men story is racism and segregation, and boy, is that ever not relevant. You've got plenty of reason to... Sorry, isn't that ever relevant? You've got plenty of reason to bring all this up and do it, and especially if you do it well, because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now that could relate. And you could easily work all that in intelligently and not just in a pandering method.
Yeah.
And you've already got characters and plots and ideas that have done all this for you and laid the groundwork, and it's very relatable. This is all very simple. But at the same time, they deal with, Bishop and Cable through time travel, and also...
we got that from Days of Future Past.
Yeah, Apocalypse, and then
We're
also...
not going to talk about that one.
Well, Apocalypse is what I want to see done right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't want them to try Dark Phoenix, but please do Apocalypse correctly. Like, build to that. I loved Apocalypse because it's such a good...
Dude, him and the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's a great,
and then the movie
world-level
was
threat.
just...
Atrocious.
Oh.
Here's this character moving on. The way I summarized that movie is there was a scene where all the teenagers got in the car and they're like, yeah, we're going to go to the mall. And in any other movie, you would hear me audibly groan as I'm like, oh, good, a mall
Scene?
homage cliche.
Oh.
What's it called? Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. We're like Rocky trains, and they cut to different scenes, and then
Oh my god, I had it, and then you snapped. And
Write it in the comments, folks! If you're still here.
It's the montage!
Montage, yeah.
God.
I was like, oh good, a 90s mall montage in a 2010 movie. Oh boy. That's what I would say in like any other situation. And then the car gets blown up and they don't go to the mall. And my immediate thought was, man, I wish they'd gone to the mall. Because I wanted to get to know the characters and see them interact. Like, they were so busy just being like, look, it's this person! And then throwing them out the window and grabbing the next one and shoving them in your face.
Well, and then saying, oh yeah, no, the third one in a trilogy is never good. Oh, wow, yeah, that was a smart thing to say in your third movie in a trilogy.
Yeah, just the whole everything. Yeah.
Especially because at the time, the Star Wars one was like the only movie trilogy.
No.
Wasn't it?
No.
What was the movie they were walking out from? I thought it was Star Wars.
That they were walking out from, maybe, yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
What movie trilogies existed prior to that? That would have been in movie theaters.
Horror movies had trilogies by then, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure The Godfather was later. Trilogies before Star Wars. I know there's some, but I clearly can't.
Yeah, I mean the horror movies. Yeah, they would be bad, but
I could be wrong. Yeah, okay, like Sam Spade, things like that. Like they're much older. I can't think of anything. James Bond, if you want to count it. A lot of them are actually a lot older, though. I was expecting there to be something in that era, but I can't find anything from like that decade.
Well, that's what they were commenting on when they walked out of the movie theater.
Yeah,
it was so stupid.
Well, they were making fun of the other X-Men trilogy.
Yeah, and then they freaking bombed.
Oh, yeah, because
they looked like idiots,
I mean, obviously...
Don't cut off your nose to spite your face, bro.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you've got to do Magneto. There's no way they can't do Magneto.
I love Magneto. Yeah.
Everyone loves Magneto. That's why they keep using him, because they're the only thing they can get kind of right, but at the same time, it's
Dude,
like, hey...
Ian McKellen and Fassbender have both done that character justice.
Yes. But, I mean, at the end of the day, how many times can you go, hey, I was in Auschwitz? Like, it's a great plot, but they got to do more.
The main thing about Magneto was always just like, is he wrong, though? Like,
well, yes, that's always the main thing about Magneto. Yeah. That's why they always use him, but we all know it. We've all seen it. It's just like opening Spider-Man with Spider-Man's backstory.
Yeah, we all know. He's bit by a radioactive spider.
So there's a lot of potential ground there. I don't know how they navigate it, though. No. One day they'll do this right? It's gotta happen.
So. I believe in them. You got this, Disney! Give me more X-Men!
And that is the end of day 36. I got 10 hours and 29 minutes of footage. And page 5 is done. Oh my gosh. It is 9:21 p.m. I am so freaking tired. I forgot to end off my needle. I do that a lot when I finish a page. Oopsie daisy. But I got a lot of work done. I finished all 5 of the colors that remained. They were all really, really dark. And it's very, very dark, and it's been dark since like 5 o'clock. I hate daylight savings. It's the stupidest thing ever. There we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. And I'm not going to iron it right now. I am very tired. I just want to show you guys how the 5 finished pages look. And then I'm going to bed. Because I've had a long day. And I cross-stitched for 10.5 hours. I think that's the longest day I've ever had for 4 Heavenly Beasts, isn't it? I have the thing in front of me. I could actually check it. 6 hours, 8 hours. Yeah, that is the longest day by far. Go me. I don't plan on pulling a lot of these. I'm just saying. I was just determined to finish it because I feel like for the past like 5 days I've been saying, oh yeah, I'll finish it soon. And then I wasn't. But now I did. It needs to be ironed so badly. Look at that. I think it's just one more page on the end, isn't it? Let me open up my pattern again and just make sure. I swear if I find out I measured this wrong, I'm gonna cry. Yep, one more page and then I will have completed a whole row. And it's not even a full page, it's a partial page. It's like, you know, 5/8 of a page or something. Looks so cool. That dragon, oh man, I'm so happy. So cool. Okay, but I'm actually like so tired. I will iron this and I'll show you what it looks like on the beginning of day 37. Is that what we're going to be on? Day 37. 5 pages down. Yeah. Okay. I'm so tired. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. That was weird, but it doesn't hurt, so that's good.